Hey everyone, I'm back again with another video, and this one is titled, Wife Cheated with Woman, Ghosting, and Gaslighting Me. Please make sure you like the video and subscribe, and don't forget to hit the bell so you don't miss any of my future videos. Let's get right into it. Wife and I have been married for 3 years, together for 5+ years. We met in college and both work in healthcare. She's a nurse, and me as a 4th year medical student. Our relationship has had ups and downs like all. But I can say we have always been best friends, are very compatible mentally and physically, and otherwise enjoy time with each other. We have had a hard time with me going through school. Medical school can be very busy, and I have had a lot of underlying mental health problems develop due to school throughout the last 2 to 3 years. Mostly anxiety and several different manifestations of depression, irregular sleep, irregular diet, lack of interest. How it relates to our relationship is that I have not been the most emotionally available, nor have I been able to spend as much time as I should have with her. I was never physically or emotionally abusive, nor am I controlling. My problems in the relationship have been chronic and mild problems, that while consistent, we were never anything that couldn't change with improvements in my health or effort. As far as I know, there has never been a case of infidelity in our relationship. We had an argument in early June of 2020 where we later made up somewhat. She said she got caught crying at work and her friend, mid-20s female, consoled her. They started hanging out a lot. I noticed and commented that they were texting/spending a lot of time together, to which she said they were talking about relationship problems together. Seemed fair to me. I said she can't complain to me about me, and that was that. She continued changing how she acted around me by being more confrontational. She's an extremely agreeable and passive person, and getting really dressed up whenever she would spend time with this friend. She also started reading a book that the friend gave her to help her stick up for herself. Friend is LGBT, which is fine, but relevant to me building my mental narrative. Fast forward a week or two, and she randomly gives me the "I love you, but I'm not in love" speech. We had made up, both initiated intercourse, gone on dates for a week or so now. Says she thinks divorce is the only option and refuses to consider relationship counseling. This is particularly jarring to me as we're both, usually, rational people, and we're both medically literate. Counseling seems like the obvious choice. We also had recently began trying to have a child, April to June. Within the next couple of nights, we get into an argument cause I put together the precis. She started acting different since hanging out with a friend. Dresses up like she's going on a date with a friend. Started reading Untamed. Sudden change in how she views our marriage. Complete and unquestioning assuredness in leaving the marriage. And I confront her on the fact that she has developed feelings for this person. She swears she has not, and she has been thinking this for a while, and I don't understand where she is coming from. I don't give her enough emotional support, I will never change, and thus counseling is useless. She ends up admitting she developed a crush on the friend. I get mad and throw my phone. Wrong choice, I know. It wasn't in her direction, nor have I ever harmed her, threatened her, or shown this as a pattern of behavior. I was also extremely emotional, normally not the emotional one, and made an A for myself for sure. She left that night and stayed at a friend's house. She would then come back in with her parents, states away, after staying at friend's house for 2 to 3 days. She only recently told me this. Fast forward to the latter half of June and most of July, and we have been living separated at each other's parents' house. I didn't stay in our home because I don't know anyone else there, and we had since canceled our lease and had to start moving out regardless. Our conversation has ranged from her ghosting me to a few text messages to phone calls sometimes. She stayed adamant that it was all my fault that I didn't give her the attention she needed and will never understand. I have spent most of the last month and a half reading about what ruins marriages, seeing patterns in our relationship that I contributed to. Started seeing a therapist/using medication, and spent most of my time exercising and studying to improve myself. I admitted to her what I thought the problem was, that I didn't spend enough time/emotional energy with her, and I created the foundation for which all this happened. She at this point has said that I put words in her mouth, and she never had feelings for the friend. During this whole month, I was supposed to be preparing for my second round of medical boards. Instead, I was stuck with crippling depression, anxiety, and grief. She knew about all of this. We started having healthy phone conversations over the last week and a half, and since then, yesterday, she admitted that she has been having overwhelming anxiety, has not been eating, and has felt guilty for how she acted. She admitted she had developed feelings for the friend. I pressed her on if they had a physical relationship, to which she inched her answer forward from no to okay, we kissed, to we did more than kissing, and the night I left you, I stayed at her house for 2 to 3 days, all in the same conversation. She said her leaving was to avoid the anxiety of facing me and her mistake. She also said that she has been getting advice from her family telling her I was crazy and manipulative due to my emotional reaction, which she said was the only case because she admitted her affair. I remained calm and told her while it was her mistake, she's not an evil person. And while it was entirely her decision to have an affair, I believe it wouldn't have happened if I took control of the things in my life that I needed to control: my body, mind, portion of the marriage. She admitted that I have been kind and changed for the better and have better understood where my problems were. And to be clear, the affair and how she acted the last month with the ghosting and gaslighting is extremely hateful and repulsive behavior. She also opened up to the fact that she's confused. She says she may be lesbian or bi, but she doesn't know. I told her during this conversation in the month before that if she ever decided she was lesbian, it would suck for me, but I would support her through the process. Her family is very Catholic, and she said they would judge her and not understand. She said when she mentioned to them that I thought she was having an affair with a woman, they made hateful comments on the thought of it and towards LGBT individuals, and knew she could only talk to me. I'm personally conflicted in this. Obviously, if she decided she didn't like men, I would accept it. And we have had a lot of emotional and physical intimacy. Intimacy that I know was real and not an act. Also, I know when someone has an affair, obviously they will feel attracted to that person and feel repulsed by their spouse. So there is no way to tell if she likes men or women exclusively at this point. I'm not sure if this is really my problem anymore, but it's relevant to the situation. We agreed she would come home and make an attempt to heal, whether we stay married or not, and that I deserve closure. She was planning on coming back to our home state today so we could try to heal and work through our problems. Then this morning she emailed me saying she's no longer going to speak with me on the phone and that I still don't understand. I messaged her mother the whole situation because I'm fed up with her getting to torture me and void the consequences. I also know that I have been slandered into some manipulative, emotional abuser and refuse to not have my side told. If there was no affair mentioned, I never would have broken the news that she's questioning whether she's lesbian or not. But I have every right to tell others about her affair, and that just happens to be a part of it. I don't know if this was the mature thing to do, but also it's not my responsibility to help her avoid the consequences of her actions. That, and I've spent this whole month and a half trying to fix our marriage and become the best person I can, all while she goes on a vacation to avoid facing reality. I guess I don't know what to do, or if I need advice, or just somewhere to vent. I already have a lawyer hired, and we were working on a dissolution. But we both have been dragging our feet. For a while, I was considering forcing her to file a contested divorce as we have no kids or assets. And I don't care about money since I won't have to pay my student loans off for 5+ years once I'm making more than I know what to do with. I do, however, care about mutual respect and would be able to sleep better at night knowing I didn't give her the easy way out by filing for dissolution without trying counseling first. Also, until news of the affair, I would be lying if I filed a dissolution saying that we agreed we were incompatible. This was my stance 2 to 3 days prior to learning about the affair. I don't know what I want now. It's absolutely unbelievable how your partner slash spouse slash best friend could betray you and act so hateful. She's acting so differently than she has ever been in our entire relationship. She gave me roughly 6 hours of being really sorry and giving me control over the situation, and now she's back to running from her shame slash guilt at my expense. Thank you guys for watching. Please make sure you like the video and subscribe, and don't forget to hit the bell so you don't miss any of our future videos, and be sure to comment below what other subreddits you want me to cover.